but we're just walking by faith and doing the best that we can. Hey guys, welcome back to It's Just Roots YouTube channel. My name is Beyonce Pringle, and this channel is all about faith, family, and community. If you are new here, please feel free to subscribe, click the notification bell so that you guys will be notified anytime I post. Like this video and share it with your friends, your family, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your neighbor. Share it. Before I get into the deeds of this video, I just want to say this because I was reflecting and I was saying I didn't really tell you guys why I named this channel It's Just Root. Some of you guys have asked me like why, why and your name we don't know you as Root really. I've named this channel It's Just Root mainly because one, it's a part of my name. It's not my first name, but it's a part of my name. It's my middle name. But not just that. If you guys are familiar with the story of Ruth, you guys will know Ruth to be a person that is loving. She's merciful. She's a friend. You read the story of Ruth and her connection and her devotion to Naomi and her life, just representing a redeemed life where she was without a husband. She didn't have kids, and she was basically a widow and so on, and so she had nothing really left, and she clung to Ruth, she clung to Naomi, and after this staying with Naomi and so on, fast forward, she meet her husband, she meet Boaz, or Boaz took notice of her, and she was redeemed. So yeah, and I felt like that spoke to my life in what God has done for me, in that things have changed drastically. He took me from a place where I didn't really know who I was to a place where, okay, I know I'm now affirmed and confident of who I am and of who I am in him. And just the name Root just signifies a new person, a new purpose, a redeemed life, just a new, yeah, it just signifies that change in my life. So that's why I named the channel It's Just Root. But you guys can call me either. You can call me Root or you can call me Beyonce. I'm absolutely fine with that. Anyway, and anything else? Thanks to all those who have subscribed so far. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. I really hope to not disappoint you guys, but to kind of continue to bring content that is valuable, hope filled, faith filled, encouraging, and just fun and interactive. Yeah, so thank you guys for commenting, liking, and subscribing, and also sharing the video that I posted recently. Anyways, into today's video. So today's video is all about is talking about 21 things I've learned upon turning 21. I've turned 21 about 45 months ago. Right? I've turned 21, and I felt like, wow, 21 is a big number. So yes, but 21 things I've learned upon turning 21, because I felt like there's quite a number of things I've learned, and just reflecting over my life and saying wow, and just recognizing that there's a lot to do, there's a lot I've done, there's a lot going on. And like I was talking to one of my friends, and I was saying, hey, our life in our 20s is like about exploration and getting to know yourself, getting to know what you want to do, getting to know what you want to become, where you want to be, what you want to do, all of those different things, spaces that you want to be in, spaces that you don't want to be in, friends that you want to have, friends that you don't want to have in your life, relationships that you want to build, connections that you want to grow, skills you want to attain, all of those things. I was just reflecting and saying to my friend and saying, yo, our 20s are really like this. In a way, being in your 20s, even though I'm not all the way down there in my 20s, but I'm just starting out somewhat, it's like there's this temptation for you to have everything figured out. there's a temptation for you to have everything secured, financially secured, looking to get married, finishing up, getting a degree, a whole bunch of things. The expectations are high and the pressures are there, and it just feels like you're supposed to be doing so many things. you know I was just looking at that, being a 21-year-old and saying, what have you done? Have you accomplished everything that you need to accomplish? But honestly, looking back at life, there's more to life than just, oh, I've accomplished this. It's good, don't get me wrong, it's good, but don't let it get to a place where you neglect or you don't consider the small things, the small blessings, the small accomplishments. Appreciate them, appreciate those small wins, right? So I guess the first point that we can take is appreciate your small wins. Appreciate your small wins, appreciate where you are, make the best of where you are, because one day you're going to look back down the line and be like, I wish I had the time that I had back then. I wish I had appreciated these things. I wish I had just took the time to enjoy the journey. That could be our next point. Enjoy the journey. Embrace where you are, and not just rush to get to that destination. Rush to be there when you need to be right here, and enjoying right where you are right now. So yeah, that's another thing. Enjoy where you are right now. Embrace where you are right now. Because you're where you are for a reason. Yeah. So that's just another thing. And in support of that, in support of that, I must say, enjoy your youthful days. Enjoy your youthful days. And no, I don't mean going out there and partying and all those wild things, because yeah, enjoy your youthful days in that, as I said before, don't rush to be at a certain place. Enjoy your youth. And I said this because when I turned 20 or thereabouts, when I turned 20 or thereabouts, I was like, did I rush? Why was I rushing to be like a big woman? Like, I think it's a Jamaican culture where, like, when you're in high school and you're like 15 and 16, you act like you're a big woman, you act like you're an adult, you be big, you push
Guys,
up
I'm
your
here
chest and
listening and
everything,
editing this
and you
video, and I'm
just kind of,
realizing that I just
you
love to
know,
say,
yeah, that was me. So when I was
But
15, 16, there were
anyways,
persons
let's
be
keep
like,
listening.
you're that age, like, you look so older than that. I used to get it a lot. Even to the point where persons were like, I had a big sister, or my sister, or she's like, all right, my sister is the younger one. Persons would always say it, you know, and that's because of how I carried myself. And I don't really wrong it, because it had helped me to be responsible and, kind of mature and handle things properly. But as I'm looking back, I'm like, there was, what's the sense of rushing to be a bigger man? You will get there when you get there. You don't need to push up yourself to be an adult or so on. Act responsibly, yes, don't get me wrong, act responsible. But enjoy those youthful days. Enjoy your high school days. Enjoy your primary school days. Enjoy that journey. Just be free. You don't have any much responsibilities. Enjoy that period, and just let growth happen. As you go forward, you grow and you understand, and you become mature, and you become more responsible, more focused, more sober minded, and so on. So I was looking back and I was just saying, yeah, enjoy those youthful days, because you're getting older and older, and as you get older, should I say that more pressure is going to be on your shoulder, more responsibility is going to be on your shoulder. But yeah, just enjoy those useful days, and even as you're in your early 20s, enjoy youthful days. And it just means the simple things as just enjoy where you are, embrace where you are, you know, focus. If you're not in a relationship, focus on growing, building your skills, building your abilities, using your gifts and abilities, and just embracing where you are once again. And in accordance with that, another thing that I've learned upon turning 20, I think this might be the third or fourth point. The third or fourth point. Another thing that I've learned is that your gifts, which Many persons may see it as talents. Yeah, your gifts, which are many persons might see as talents, is not just for fun. It's not just there for their purposes. It's not just for hobby's sake. You might have a few things that are for hobby, no, but you have some talent and you have some gifts. You personally know them, and you just bypass them. You see them, but you don't do anything with them. Whereas I might have others that them dip them foot in the water, them use it a little bit, them do a little thing, but not to the extent, you know. And what I've realized is that your gifts that you have are part of your calling in life. It's a part of who you are. It's a part of what you will become, what you will be, and who you are right now. And right, it's not just for a hobby. It's not just a simple talent that you're supposed to have hidden. If you remember that story, that parable that was shared in Matthew 25, where the what do you call it? The master gave talents, different amounts of talents to each person, and he left, and he put them in charge of those talents. And I think one of them got, I'm not sure how much each of them got, but I know one of them got one. I think another got two. I'm not sure if the other one got five. I'll have to check back. But each of them got different amounts of talent, and the one that had the five, the one that had the two, they invested their talents. They used up their talents. Whereas the other one, the one that had one talent, was like, you know, and he hid that talent. He buried that talent. And when the master came back, the one that had the five had doubled it. The one that had the two doubled it, and the master was proud of them. The master was happy that they invested their talents, invested what he had given to them, and he used it up to and get more. Whereas he was like, the one that had the one, was like, shame on you, I gave you that one talent and expected you to bring back more, invest it and use it. So I'm saying it to you guys, and I'm saying it to myself, your gifts and your talents that you have are not just for fun, are not just for you to sit on them and to hide them. They are part of who you are. They are part of your calling. They are part of who you are to be and to become. So don't waste them. Use them. Use them up. And you'll be amazed, and you'll just see how much of a difference it makes in your life, where it helps you to walk in your purpose and discover your full potential. You know, yeah, yeah. I was gonna share something, but I'm gonna let that stay. But yeah, another thing, yeah, so that's one thing I've learned. The fifth thing that I've learned is that I kind of learned this recently, that life is not always going to be easy. I know this is said a lot, but for me, like, you always hear it, but for me, it struck because of a certain situation that happened to me. And it was, and it was like, push, in Jamaican terms, push come to shove. In other ways, you need to act now, or you need to handle things right now. So it was like, life is not going to always be easy. Hard times are going to come. It's a part of life. It's a part of life. Struggles are always going to be there. It's just a matter of you being resilient and not giving up, and pushing through, holding on, tugging through. And in those moments, you recognize the next thing I've learned, the sixth thing, that you need Jesus. Because he is like that refuge, that solid rock, that foundation. So when you're about to hit rock bottom, he's like there to catch you. He's there for you, and you can say, Lord, like, you're going through that season, and you're going through that situation, that hard time in life, and you're like, Lord, you can call him and say, Lord, this is what's happening right now, and I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, you know. And you can call on your mama and so on, but sometimes there's just certain things that you go through that only God can really pull you out of, or God can really help you do the impossible, and so I've realized that you need Jesus. You need Jesus, not just for what he can do, but for who he is, because he truly makes a difference in your life, you know. And yeah, he really does help. A lot of the decisions that I've made, or a couple of them that I've made that felt hard to make, he helped me through them, and to the point where persons come to me and like, persons come to me and they're like, "Hey Beyonce, you can help me out with this, or what do you think me for do, or what do you think?" I mean, you standard English. What do you think I should do? You know, and because of God, of the help that the Lord has given to me, I'm able to give back that help to them. And so I realized that I need Jesus. We need Jesus, right? That's another thing. Especially, going forward, you need Jesus. You need Him. And yeah, He makes a difference in everything that we do, right? And another thing is the seventh thing I've learned is that, yeah, the seventh thing I've learned is that we're all trying to figure it out. We're we're all trying to figure things out. And I said that because I wanted to know. I felt like I wasn't doing enough, or I needed to do more. Or how else can I put it? Like, I don't know how to put it. But I just say we're all figuring it out. I think I said earlier that I'm stuck. Earlier that, yeah, we're all figuring it out, in that I was observing some people, just observing adults, observing how they do things, and because I want to know what to do. So I'm observing some adults, and I'm like, okay, they do things this and this way, and to see how they really do things and how I should do things. So as I was observing them, I'm just realizing that, hey, we're all figuring it out. No one has it locked. No one knows everything that they're going to do, or nobody is so capable of making perfect decisions every single day. We're all figuring it out. None of us knows what lies ahead. No, none of us knows what's going to come, but we're just walking by faith and doing the best that we can each day. And we all hear this quote: "Your best is good enough." Right? Your best is good enough. Do your best and leave the rest to God. Right? So I was just observing people. I was observing adults, observing people in general, and like, how do they do things? And just realizing that, hey, we're all figuring it out. And so stop beat up yourself. I beat up myself sometimes, and I'm gonna tell you guys, stop beat up yourself. I'm a pink alarm. Follow along the pointers. But yeah, stop beat up yourself. We're all figuring life out. We're all walking by faith. As the Bible says, for we walk by faith and not by sight. So we're all figuring things out, and we should just keep walking by faith and not by sight. Because as you go along, you'll understand and you'll figure things out, and you know what to do as you go forward. Right? So that's one thing I've learned. And the next thing, and other thing though, that I can add to this is the 8 point. The 8 point, yeah. The 8 point is, take things one step at a time. Take things one step at a time. As humans, we're always in a rush to do things. And I get it. Time is moving really fast, like really fast. By the time you blink your eye, time is gone. Time is upon you. You have deadlines to meet, assignments to submit, bills to pay, just a whole lot of things to do. You have the kids to pick up, and the list is endless, right? And so we're always rushing to get things done, to do things, right? And in the midst of that, we become stressed, frustrated, overworked, overstimulated, and just tired. That's a part of life, right? But there was a particular situation last year, September. I had started school, semester had started, and I was doing some things for church, in the, regarding to the youth department, and right, and there were certain things that I needed to get done, and and house matters as well, right, and at a particular moment during one of the days in September, I had a whole lot of things to do. I had the dinner that needed to be cooked. Class was about to start. coincidentally, I had a practice to go at that specific minute, trying to prep for that practice and everything. Some might say, why never prep for practice before I did? But you know, things happen and you realize that, oh, the things that you had prepped for ended up being the wrong prepping, right? So things come, you know, things happen, push come to shove, and you know, you end up have things stacking up, and those things pile up at that very moment. And I was like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I feel stressed. Persons are waiting on me for the practice. I need to have this thing figured out so I can practice the people. Dinner need for cooked, and class is about to start. And honestly, I think in the midst of that, the message take things one step at a time came into play. Take things one step at a time. And yeah, cause having all of that for though, it was like wow. And to add to that, I remember watching this YouTuber, um, Adventures of XYZ. Some of you guys might know them, but I was watching one of their videos, and Zara was talking about, that's the girl, the lady in the video, you know, on the channel. She was talking about balance, and what stood out to me when she was talking about that was that we're not going to always have balance or be able to balance things. We're going to have to prioritize, and that stood out to me so good, because because sometimes we feel like we're trying to get so much things done at one time, and we might end up not doing some of those things good because there's so many things piling up, right? And so that struck my core, son, but it struck me, right? That prioritize. Sometimes you can't balance with priority, setting priorities straight, prioritizing what they need to do now over things that you can do later on. Not saying that you're putting things off, but you're getting the things that you need to get done first or immediately. You get that done first, and then you focus on the things that you can do afterwards that maybe has a further deadline or so on, right? And so that just ties in with taking things one step at a time, prioritizing, get this thing done first and get other thing done afterwards. And another point, the ninth point, is don't put off to tomorrow what you can do to today. Do today. I've been quoting that a whole lot. Don't put off to tomorrow what you can do to today. Sometimes you don't feel like doing things today. Let's be real. You're tired from the long day and everything, and you just don't feel like doing things today, or you probably just want to have a look of fun and you just want to relax and play a game or watch a YouTube video or watch a TikTok or something, but don't, and so you might, because of that, you put things off to tomorrow or to next week or so on. And many of us are guilty of that. I'm guilty of that sometimes, but it struck deep that, don't put off things to tomorrow what you can do to today. Do today. Yeah, what you can do to today, because you'll be, it does help when you follow that code, because you don't have things piling up tomorrow or the other day. You clear your schedule so that, suppose something comes up, tomorrow or the other day, and then because you had put off things earlier, you have that long schedule, that long to-do list, that long task list, that you have to start, checking off, and the load just gets overbearing. So don't put off to tomorrow what you can do today. If you have the time to do it today, do it. Get it done today. Don't wait till tomorrow to do it. Right? Yeah. And it's a 10 point. I'm at no. The 10 point. Another thing that I've learned, this was a quote that just came to me. I have a whole lot of quotes in there, guys, just to let you guys know that I have a whole bunch. I still don't know what to do with them. I have a whole bunch that I've written down, and I've even typed up in a document. But this is one of the quotes that came to me last year. It says, if you continue to live in fear, you won't accomplish anything in this life. Let's just pause for a little bit to let that sink in. If you continue to live in fear, you won't accomplish anything in this life. At this point, I just had to take a break because I had duty, but let's reflect. Okay, guys, I had to cut off a while ago because I'm multitasking. But anyways, just to add to that point, that quote that I just shared, you have this verse in First Timothy 2, verse 7. It says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind." And just make that tie with the quote, make that complement the quote, that when you feel fearful, remember that you have power within you because God, the Holy Spirit, the Lord, Jesus Himself resides in us, and because of that, we don't have to be fearful. Yeah, and it's a good quote because we're fearful. We're humans. As much as just as how we're stressed out and we become tired and weak and stuff like that, we we are fearful of certain things, whether it be 40 leg, whether it be spider, whether it be heights, water, all kind of things, all kind of things. So we're fearful of. But in the midst of in the midst of that, let us remember that Christ says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear." The Word of God says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind." Yeah, so that's one thing. Another thing that I want to share is this is more, yeah, majority of these quotes are really Christian quotes, and I mean, this is what the channel is all about. But the next thing that I want to share is be yourself. Be yourself. Um, Once again, that's something known. Um, and I want to put a little bit of a parameters on that, because be yourself might mean, let me not go there, but be yourself means be you. Don't try to be like somebody else. Don't try to dress like somebody else or mimic somebody else or follow the path of somebody else, but be yourself in that you acknowledge what you are good at, you acknowledge what you want to do, and you pursue that. And be yourself in that you learn to love yourself, learn about yourself, and recognize what your likes are, your dislikes are, and embrace them because it makes you you. There's nobody else like you in this world. So be yourself. You're unique, you're special, you're wanted. There are people out there that are looking for people like you. And what world would it be if everybody was the same thing? Was the same way, did the same thing. So yeah, be yourself. Yeah. The other thing that's
Guys,
point
at
12,
this point, I just end up
I think
losing
that's point
track. But yeah, I place a point for point 12
12.
earlier, so you guys can just take a
Point
look at that
13
and we
is,
just continue from here,
let not
point
your
13.
sufficiency rest in yourself, but in God. This is a good one. Once again, I learned this. This was a message that came to me in the earlier part of March. Um, I was depending on myself in terms of saying I have enough, or I was depending on myself in that I have to ensure I have what I need to do, what I need to do. Maybe funds wise, it was funds wise where, hold on. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Once again, I had to to step away. But yeah, like so your sufficiency could be you ensuring that you have enough money to do what you need to do. Maybe it's to go out, maybe it's to go on a trip, maybe it's to for your school fee. It may be mapping out your money, budgeting your money, to say when to spend this amount on your bills or so on. But the thing is, we're always so sufficient on ourselves in that we want to ensure we have enough. We always want to be prepared and everything. That's kind of me, but that's one thing I've learned. Let not the sufficiency rest in yourself but in God, because sometimes you think we thinking that we have enough, and then we end up run out. We realize, say, yo, we can't do this on our own and stuff like that. So you need God, and then when you rely on God, when you go to God, He comes through for you, and you realize that, hey, no matter how you might try to have everything you need and everything under control, in a sense, you still need God, right? It says, let not your sufficiency rest in yourself but in God. Yeah. The other point is, enjoy your singleness. I had mentioned something like this earlier on, but this is just a point by itself. Enjoy your singleness. Do not rush to be in a relationship. I'm going almost 5 years strong. Yeah, in being single, and has been a great journey. It has been an absolutely beautiful journey. Not because I'm not bombarded with the pressures of, oh, honey, darling, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. You're not calling me, you're not messaging me, and all of those things. Not No offense to you guys who are in a relationship, but just saying, if you're single, enjoy your singleness. Embrace your singleness, especially in the 20s. There's a temptation to go with the crowd and to have a boyfriend, to have a girlfriend, and or even to rush to get to be married. And there's nothing wrong with that, but while you're in that season, enjoy your singleness. Love yourself. Walk in your purpose. Fulfill the purpose that God has on your life. You know, unleash your potential, step into spaces that you need to step into, continue to grow, continue to learn, continue to prepare yourself, and to be ready for when you get into that relationship and get into marriage. Enjoy your singleness, embrace where you are once more. Don't rush into any relationship, because you might rush into that relationship and that ship, what I call sink, that ship go sink like the Titanic, or you become heartbroken, and that relationship took everything that you had, and so don't rush into any relationship. Enjoy your singleness. And I think, on the next point, I think this might be point 14 or 15. um um I think I said it also before. I learned that your 20s are somewhat for exploration, discovery, and understanding who you want to become. Like, really and truly, your 20s are like that. Like, I don't know, I can't tell you who, but I saw this video where it was a young man, and I'm not sure if he's a content creator or something, but he posted a video where he was like in the ocean or something, and I think the POV or the caption was like, how your 20s is like, or something like that. And it was like he was swimming through the ocean. It was like, your 20s is like that, you swimming through the ocean and finding somewhere to to find an island, finding an island. And then I think somebody commented and was like, I guess it's an older person, because the person was like, until you realize that you have to become your island. So it really is a journey of kind of understanding where you're going and what you're doing, your 20s. But you guys, I would say we'll find our way. To all those who are in their 20s, we'll find our way. If you have not found your way, you'll find your way, and you will learn as you go and understand as you go. And yeah, the Lord is your guide. He promised to be there with you until the very end of age. He will guide you in every decision that you make, in every step that you take, in all your relationships, in all your connections, your friendships, in the path of career that you choose, in whether it be ministry, whether it be banking, whether it be medicine, whether it be law, whatever the case may be. God promises to be there and to guide you and to help you find your way, even as you're navigating the journey of your 20s. That some may say it's a fun series, and don't get me wrong, you're youthful and stuff. So enjoy your youth, but do so with being sober minded, and considerate of the consequences of your actions. Like, remember, say you have your 30s left, you have your 30s ahead of you, and your 40s ahead of you, and whatever you do now is going to affect the 30s and the 40s down there, right? So yeah, be mindful of that, you know. Yeah. The 15 point is go at your own pace. Go at your own pace. um this ties in with my book, Run Your Race. Once again, I'm gonna mention it. Run Your Race, learned this when I turned 20. Run your own race. I was seeing so many persons doing all these things, and I was like, yo, I was comparing myself and like, where am I, you know, and where, where they are. Forgetting that everybody's journey is different, and some persons might get married right now, and you might get married down the line, and that's absolutely okay. That's absolutely okay. Your journey is unique, your journey is different. That's where God wants them, wants that person to be in their life, and where you are is where God wants you to be. If you need to be further, then you can go further, and God will allow you to be further. But go at your own pace. Run your own race. Knowing that your race is unique. Go at your own pace is, it may, don't don't force yourself to be like someone else's and to rush things, in a sense where, oh, I need to get this done too, I need to buy my car now, I need to get my house. No, take your time, save up the money, put on the money, allocate the money, get the job, and start saving to say, okay, I want to get that job. Don't rush and go into certain things just because you see somebody else have their car already, so you rush yourself, go pick up that $1 million, $2 million loan, and then boom, the next 2 months you're like, oh wow, or the next 5 months, I can't pay this off. Why did I go take up this loan? I should have just waited. I should have just waited. So I'm like saying, go at your own pace. Go at your own pace. Yeah. And run your own race. Yeah. The other point, 15, guys, I have to be. Since it's a lot of points, I have them written down, so I have to, Yeah. I think another point to make is everyone won't understand you. That's the other point. But just remain calm, remain focused, and let the positive results show. Everyone won't understand what you're doing, but that's okay. That's okay. Guys, excuse the noise in my background. I have some kids here, Yeah. But everyone will understand you, and that's okay. That's okay. As long as you know what you're doing and where you're going, focus on that and move forward. I can't really give any examples like, oh, this philosopher or this, particular person who has reached there, did it this way. I can't really pinpoint that. But I think there might be a few persons where, they were misunderstood, um, but they kept forward, you know, and this can go for like, maybe you have a business that you want to start, and some persons don't think you're capable of starting that business because you're like, girl, look at your situation. Your situation is not suitable or accommodating for that business that you want to go start. And you start the business, and they're like, you know, but remain focused. If there was something in your heart, something pounding in your heart saying go for it or so on, the Holy Spirit speaking to you saying, hey, go for it, and step out and go for it. The 17th point is, I think this is something that I always rely on as well. Make the most of what you have and where you are. And I'm not going. This is for another video, but um, I had a waiting season in my life. For about 2 years. Not going into details. That's for another video, but you know, my waiting season was like, sorry, for 2 years, and within that waiting season, I just took the time to invest in my abilities, invest in my gifts, understand myself, learn about myself, learn about what I really want to do, what I want to have, where I want to be, even in accordance with God's plans and so on. But, it was during that waiting season. I just took the time for all of those things. I built my skills, developed certain, um, technical skills, advanced skills, um, and just really grew, you know. But make the most of what you have and where you are in terms of you might not have certain equipments, you might not have certain cash, or you know, or maybe you don't live where you want to you live, where you desire to live. Maybe you're not there. You don't have what you want, but make the most of what you have and make the most of where you are, because at the end of the day, life is moving, and one day you're gonna move out of that space and you're gonna look back and say, I should have just made the most of where I am, because it helps you to be content and it helps you to be so grateful and appreciative of when you reach to where you want to reach, or have what you want to, or have what you've been desiring. Sorry. So make the most of what you have and make the most of where you are today. Make the most of what you have and where you are today. Yeah. Another thing to the 18th point. I hope I'm tracking it good enough. The 18th point is sometimes things are best done in silence. You don't have to load up everything. This is a tricky point. It's a tricky point and it must be treated with caution. But sometimes things are best done in silence. You don't have you don't have to make known all of your moves, because sometimes when you do that, you give space for the enemy to work and to create havoc and so on. So sometimes it's best to move in silence. Yeah, I think that's the 19th point. Oh, I think that's the 19th. Yeah, the 20th point is it's okay to rest. It's okay to rest. Boy, this is something we need to take and hold on to, because it's okay to rest. It's okay to take some rest. And this go for everybody, because boy, we live in a culture where we work a lot, and that's it's good, it's good. But balance, in this case, balance comes in. There's a time to work and there's a time to rest. So know that it's okay to rest. When you rest, your body, your body rejuvenates. It becomes, your body just needs the rest, so that you can go again to do what you need to do, get done what you need to get done. Your body is okay to rest, guys. May I repeat it? It's okay to rest. It's okay to rest at times. Be patient with yourself. That's the next thing too. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. You will get things done when you get things done. You will get things done eventually. Be patient with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Give yourself some grace. I learned that I learned that from Sim Soul's session. Give yourself some grace. Why you beat up yourself so much? But give yourself some grace. And the final point, the 21st point, the icing on the cake, is such a beautiful point that is wrapped up in Jeremiah 29 verses 11. And the quote is, "You have a purpose and God has a plan. You may not see it now, but trust the process." You may not see it now, but trust the process. Things may not look like it, but trust the process. Trust that God is working behind the scenes. Look at the story with Lazarus. Mary and Martha. Martha's brother Lazarus died. He was already in the tomb. After they had called for Jesus, Jesus did not come. He waited about 4 days until he came, like, Lazarus dead. Lazarus dead and gone. He was, the Bible, the word of God says, he smelled, or he was like rotten. you know, and there was a foul smell. Like you ever smell when something dead rat, dead dog or something, and just smell. Mm-hmm. Lazarus was gone, and Jesus showed up, and he said to Martha, you know, don't you believe? He said to Martha, I am the resurrection and the life. And he went to the tomb and he told him, move the stone that covered the tomb, and he said, Lazarus, come out. And in that very moment, God was glorified. The power of God was revealed. The Jews that were there that talked bad about him, some of them, they marveled at it and they believed in Jesus. But the moral of the story is, you may not see it, it may not look like things can come back to life, it may not look like things can get better, but trust God. God is working. He's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ask, think, or imagine. And that's where we end this video. Thank you guys for staying. If you guys stayed through the entire video, thank you. Because I know this is so long. But if you guys stayed, you know, thank you for taking it, you know, for listening. And I hope that you guys found something valuable from what I said and you can apply it and share it even with your friends and family so that they too can be blessed by it and can take something from it. So thanks for watching and see you guys in the next video.